Hey guys, how's it going? Anyway, while I was at BAC, and I was checking out, all the yo-yo stores, Yo-Yo Expert was there, Yo-Yo Best Buy was there, all these different kind of colorful yo-yos. Something caught my eye, and it was the Something Premier. So I handed over my $30 US and picked one up. The Premier is Something's budget plastic yo-yo, which in its simplest form is basically an addiction without the metal weight aerobics. My guess would be it was designed to compete against some of the yo-yo recreation plastics, say like the Diffusion, the Gargantua, etc., just allowing something to tap into that market, which yo-yo recreation kind of has on lockdown at the moment. So let's take a closer look at the specifications of the Premier. So, diameter 57.23 millimeters, width 42.80 millimeters, gap width 4.66 millimeters, weight 65.6 grams, bearing size C, and it comes stock with a Trac bearing. Response is something pad. The Premier has an all-plastic construction, which is probably made out of a low-cost polycarbonate plastic, if I were to take a guess. Both the nut and the bolt are fixed into the yo-yo and cannot be removed, to the disappointment of any person who likes to tinker around and tune their yo-yos. The bearing is held in place with these spaces right here. So what happens is, how it works is the actual nut or bolt is there, right? And the spacer goes over the top, just like so, and that's how it seats the bearing. So the Premier has a 15mm axle, something very commonly found in most yo-yo factory yo-yos, I believe. And that would make sense, mainly because it's a plastic yo-yo. You don't want it to have minimal weight. You don't want it to be threading on you. So essentially that is the internal kind of mechanism of the Premier. The Premier weighs in at a very nimble 65.6 grams, which today's standards is light, but not light to the extreme. However, on the string, the Premier feels a lot lighter than 65 grams. Due to its lack of noticeable rim weight, the Premier pretty much glides along the string. Pretty much think about Hiroyuki Suzuki style, how effortlessly that speeds around and flows around. That's kind of how the Premier plays. But what it makes in speed, the Premier lacks in stability, which is a common problem found in plastic yo-yos that don't have sufficient rim weight. In terms of shape, the Premier ticks all the boxes, like most competition yo-yos from this era. So it's got a low wall, wide profile, V-ish kind of shape. On top of this, it's very lightweight, makes it very nimble on the string, and makes it a very fun throw. It can take on most tricks these days and adds a very fun kind of vibe to them. The word fun is a very subjective word to use. It's kind of it's kind of up there with floaty and tech. They're very ambiguous kind of words, but basically when I say a yo-yo is fun, it's the yo-yo doesn't necessarily play like $1 million, but the whole experience, the vibe, the weight, it all comes together and makes you really enjoy playing with that yo-yo. The yo-yo itself has a personality and a character. There are a lot of yo-yos around that, tick all the boxes, that play well, spin long and all this, but they're just generally boring to play with. The Premier doesn't have that problem. It's a very fun yo-yo to throw around. It's definitely something I carry around very often. With a fair amount of skill, the Premier can take on most of the tricks circulating around the competition scene at the moment. However, I find that the Premier lacks a little bit of stability and spin time. Okay, due to its minimalistic weight, the yo-yo itself doesn't ground itself on the string very well. And at the end of the day, I can do some extreme combos on it, but I have to pay a lot of attention. Mistakes that I would get away with on an upper end yo-yo aren't easily as tolerable on the Premier. Finally, the Premier has a substantial amount of vibe, okay? Now, here's a secret. Any top player who knows how to yo-yo doesn't care about vibe, okay? But to, most people who, set aside money to buy a yo-yo, they want their yo-yo to play as smoothly as possible. So, because the bolts are both fixed into place and the axle is really long and there are only a couple of spaces, not really much to work with in terms of tuning this yo-yo. So the amount of vibe it comes with out of the box is pretty much the amount of vibe you're stuck with. Either way, I'm not too fussed about it. I think it plays really fun, and I wouldn't be too hesitant to buy it again. So when I first bought the Premier, I wasn't looking for a new competition yo-yo, okay? I wasn't expecting, an A-grade, completely, new level kind of yo-yo that was gonna take me to new heights of extreme tricks or anything like that. What I was looking for was a yo-yo that I could put in my pocket and I could play around, and that was fun to play with. Now and under those circumstances, the Premier completely delivered on my expectation. While some of my playability critiques may have been harsh, it's important to put in perspective that this is a budget plastic yo-yo, okay? I was expecting a lot higher standards considering I was using the Dropnia, the Pulsefire, the Irony JPX, all those, and while those yo-yos do play better, they are probably 4 or 5 times the price of the Premier. I've actually really enjoyed the Premier. I didn't buy it to use in competition, I bought it as a fun throw. That's great. So if you're a beginner looking to find a new plastic yo-yo, or seasoned pro that just wants something fun to use, I definitely recommend the Premier. It's cool, it's nice. Yeah, okay, see you guys next time.